Good evening and welcome back, dear viewers, to the sixth season of the now called Pop Esports Masters. We're here for the League of Legends regular season starting off again, and of course, it wouldn't be a PEM League of Legends season with my dear co-caster, Freshtana. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you, Louis. Thank you. It's nice to, or Medius. I'm sorry. It's nice to be here
It's fine.
again every single year. And yeah, it wouldn't be a Pop Esports Masters without you as well, and without the crew in the background. It's so amazing to be back, and yeah, I can't wait to cast all those games to be on the offline event again. It will be a banger.
Yeah, I think we have a great season ahead of us because there's quite a few interesting things that have happened since last year's finals, of course. With second season, this sort of seasonal pace means that teams would be coming back. Not every team has claimed their spot back, so we'll see some familiar faces, some completely new faces, both in Div 1 and Division 2, because there's of course still the two divisions here at the Pop Esports Masters. But also there have been, in my opinion, substantial changes to the game in itself with this new season in League of Legends. Which changes it quite a lot. So I think we're going to have some very interesting stuff going on. If we compare to last season, it's going to be very different, I think, with those few changes. So I mentioned the two divisions. For those who don't know, the Pop Esports Masters, it's an esports competition coming in from Luxembourg with two divisions in three different games. And you can also follow the second division on Nocturnal Esports channel on Twitch. They'll be streaming the games there. And if you prefer having people talking in French, which is fine, if you prefer that, you can also go over on our French Twitch channel where Once Upon a Team is streaming it in French. And they are also participating in this first division, as we'll see a little bit later. But maybe we can go over to the schedule for now so everybody can see what teams we have here in this division and who's going to play when today. Starting off with Infernal Wolves of Fenrir, which is a new coming team we haven't seen yet for Stana, and Hitmonli, which we know quite a bit.
Yes, Hitmonli already was last season with us and didn't make it to the offline event, of course, but to this split, they have the next shot to do it. And then, of course, our next matchup will be Rolfham Esports against Red, Once Upon a Team, Red Squad from them. Of course, Rolfham, well known. They won it last time, so they will be probably the team to beat in this season as well. And of course, Once Upon a team well known in this season, in this region. They already played like in the Benelux scene and the ES-LOL, for example, Divisions 2, Division 1 as well. So they kind of have a name here. So cool to see them on the Pop as well.
Yeah, what which also participates with their main roster in the first division and with their academy roster participating here at the Pop Esports Masters. So we see a few familiar faces. I mean, you did cast with us the ES-LOL Division 2 way back when. We did see what another team we know from there, and from here we have Snooze Esports, which will be going up against Rely on Esports, which did make the way up to here. It's always nice to see those Luxembourgish teams participate for the Pop Esports Masters. So quite a program we have in front of us. I don't remember by heart what the final matchup was. I think it was Red What, and I don't remember against whom they're playing. But we'll see that later once again. Of course, at the start of the season, Division 1 first game day is today. Second one is going to be on Thursday. Those will always be on Tuesday and Thursdays. But the second division is not, I'll say, restricted in terms of time and date. It's the teams that set their games together. And there has already been one game played. And there is this one result for Div 2 that we have. And maybe we can very quickly see those. I think it's Nocturnal Esports, which did take the win against FC Fumble. And for those familiar with the teams from last year, you will see some familiar faces and some new ones. Union des Ombres Esports and Rift Riders, which decided to keep their spot in second division rather than go up to the first division, because we've had a few liberated spots, of course, vacant spots. Nocturnal Esports, Cat OFF, Dutch community team, and FC Fumble, which came through the qualifiers into second division. So lots of new faces, lots of new fun, I would say.
Definitely, and especially the Dutch community team, at least as an org, is well known in the Benelux scene. They pretty much play every time when there's a tournament or something, and had a couple of lineups, of course. So cool to have them here in the pop as well.
Yes, of course, with this, a lot of those Benelux teams now joining here, especially with the whole revamping of the circuit, which has been taking place, and it is of course an honor for us at the Pop Esports Masters to say that the top 2 teams will get a slightly better shot entering the Benelux Ascent series, which will allow someone to go up in what it would be considered the ESLOL Div 1 with their new name, the Trans IP Road of Legends. So that's really cool. That's really exciting as well. So they're not only playing for the spot in finals here and the cash prize, there is also this sort of, I'll say, this castle, in the far back, which they can get to, which is essentially the MEA. It's a long way ahead, but we are now on that road here as well, and that's really nice to see, in my opinion.
Yeah, and actually, this information you dropped, I didn't knew about it, so it's really cool that like the Pop Esports Masters even like gets the chance to qualify for something else, right, or get a higher seed there. So that's really cool that we kind of get this kind of attraction for this tournament, that those teams get a slightly better seed, which is really, really cool to know and to see then later on.
Yeah, that will of course take place now over the course of this spring this year, so it's going to be very cool to see. Definitely go follow those pages if you want more information on that. But for our matchup now, let's maybe take a look at the 2 teams we'll be seeing opposing each other in the Summoners Rift, starting off with the newcomers, Iron Wolf Fenrir. Maybe we can see their roster on screen very soon. So of course, lots of player we don't know, Matthias.
Yes, we don't know yet, of course. We will over the course of those games know them a little bit better, and it's cool to see some new faces and in totally new org. Of course, we kind of had a wolf or a lion last time who was also red with the brothers of the red lion. Now we have like red wolves, so it's cool. It's kind of an upgrade, you could say, just because the wolf is superior to the lion, but no, probably not. Who knows? Who knows? In the end, cool new faces, and especially at least from what I saw, they look really, really strong. So they come definitely here to conquer the offline event.
Yeah, definitely, and they came in with great energy. Players coming from further in Europe, some of them even making their way to the media days, which are really nice to see. So we had those a little over a week ago, preparing for those pictures, some video clips, and it was really nice to see them being so motivated to participate here as a new coming org, sort of. And also they did really well in the qualifiers. So definitely stay tuned to see what they've got up their sleeves in this regular season. They'll be going up against a familiar face here in the first division of the Pop Esports Masters. We have Hitmonli, which already participated in the past seasons with a few changes, but overall a very similar roster, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's cool to see, especially Blythe Malgi, of course, but like as a whole, as a team, I mean, the org already competed like last split and stuff, and some of those players competed even way back in the other seasons. So it's just too cool to have like a local team basically, and just to have those players here, and to prove how strong Luxembourg is as a region, of course. So cool to have them, and they definitely will try their best to also get to the offline event.
Yeah, that they definitely will do, and they've announced it. They came in, I would almost say guns blazing, into the interviews of the media day. They're here for some heat, and maybe you can also get to see a little bit of it with that introduction video of Hitmonli.
To be honest, we are not afraid of anyone. I can tell you I'm a big fan of Mike Tyson, so they can have a game plan, but as soon as they get at the bot lane versus me and my AD carry, it will not be fun for them.
My name is Jace. In game, I'm called Blefma and I'm Luxembourgish. I'm 20 years old.
My name is Hamza, I'm 16, I'm from Albania, and my in-game name is Soulja Boy.
I'm Mero, I'm also Albanian. My in-game name is Mero04, and I'm the support.
My name is Lionel, and my in-game name is Liorio, and I'm 27 years old, and I'm from Luxembourg.
Hello, I'm Bruno. My in-game name is Zedo. I'm 24 years old, and I'm jungler.
Hello, my name is Momo. My in-game name is Yorick Owens. I'm 19 years old and I'm also from Albania.
We are mostly just a couple of friends who came together to play League, and not only play League, but we knew each other like a bit longer already. We knew each other in real life, and we decided to came together because we thought that we could stomp most people out here in Luxembourg, and we thought that we had a pretty good chance at winning and a pretty good chance at beating everyone.
So this season we will maybe try out a bit. We will try to play as a team. It did work last year, but it was a lot of fun. So this year we'll be playing with more fun and more coordination to be at the top one.
Last year wasn't actually that good because if you look at our rank at the end of the season, but still we thought that we played actually pretty well. We just had trouble ending games. We had trouble going for Baron and cleanly ending a game because we were honestly just laughing. In game we had fun. We had fun playing together. So at the end it was often that we kind of throwed the game because we were having probably a bit too much fun.
Every position has a big ocean pool, and they should be afraid of everyone, especially the jungler and the bot side, because we will gonna engage at you and let you with 0 HP.
Our only weakness might be that we don't play together for that long. Well, we've been playing together, but we don't practice every day together. But that's also basically our strength because we're like a fam. So it doesn't matter if we don't play every day. When we're on the whiff, we're just gonna link up and we're gonna destroy them.
I would say our defining element is that we are each individual very strong players, but in the team we are even stronger, and that should be a big problem for the enemy teams.
So for the cash price, I like my steak medium rare with a good nice sauce, so they will pay for my steak. So my message for the enemies is be careful for my engages.
Don't face check any bush.
My message for the enemies is that last year it didn't go well, but this year you should be prepared.
Normally this message would be directed at Reich, but apparently now their mid laner is Frankie. So be scared, bro. Be prepared.
My bad. That was Hitmonli, the spectators, and as you can see for Stana, they did some retrospect work, looking back at the past season, and they're intent on fixing the issues that they themselves noticed, so I hope we'll see something great from them this season.
Yeah, they're hyped. They're hyped to stomp everybody, which, I hope they do, actually, because from my side, I think they are still an underdog team, but they are a family and they come to conquer the league. So I hope they do well, and they know they know what they did wrong last split. So with this information and with a little bit more playing together, maybe less fun but a little bit more tryhard, less laughing, and then they will just crush them. Don't face check rushes like you heard from them. So will be a tough opponent today for the Wolves.
Yeah, definitely off for the start of the season between the Wolves newcomers here for the Pop Esports Masters and generally, as far as I know. And Hitmonli, which are a familiar face to us and have made some bold claims, I would say, in that video. Let's see if they're able to follow them up or if they'll get bitten by the Wolves as we're gonna head to Champ Select.
Yeah. And that's really, really cool. New season, new me, basically. Noxus was coming to League, so we kind of have some more map changes and new objective and stuff. So lots new things to do now and to make. Of course, new champions, which will not probably be played with Mel, but Ambessa probably is. And Fearless Draft coming in playoffs. So just some more things to be hyped on. But now we are in the draft. Of course, Hitmonli red side with Infernal Wolves on blue side. And blue side banning Skana, which usually is a red side ban. So they're kind of scared or don't play Skana for their own. So that's interesting to see, actually. And then just some more target bans, especially. Normally you would see target ban rather on the blue side. But like I would also ban the Volibear. And Mel is actually open, so she is not global banned, okay. And she gets first picked here by the Infernal Wolves.
Yeah, definitely locking in that new champion with her very special ability, which I like to refer to the Zelda neutral from Smash Bros. For those who know it, because it just seems like it's the same pretty much. Wukong on the sides of Hitmonli, and also what I liked in those bans, we do have two bot lane bans coming in from Infernal Wolf, so they took the advice in the video seriously, and they're putting some pressure on that side with their bans.
Yeah. And Hitmonli already going for some spicy picks with the Vel'Koz. It's just like not the strongest pick in my opinion at the moment, but if you can play him, of course, especially against Mel. Mel is a long-range Italy mage basically, so you're just trying to get her with your own range abilities, which I kind of really like with Vel'Koz, so that you just try to counter it range versus range. And of course, Wukong, maybe one of the strongest junglers right now on the patch, maybe together with Skana or something. And with Volibear already gone, Urubin, of course, needs something else for jungle. And there's Talia and Aphelios. And I already saw that he is kind of an Aphelios main, so he gets definitely one of his stronger champions, which I really like to see.
Yeah, definitely being able to show off one of your things right off the bat. You know, coming in strong as a newcomer, in my opinion, is always a good move. Just already set the case. You know, you come in, you say, hey, look at this. We can do stuff. We're strong. Don't underestimate us.
Yeah. And Cassandra, so we are actually a decent front line now for Hitmonli with Cassandra and with Wukong. Just two tanky members. And then, of course, Vel'Koz can always try to get the damage from behind, which is really, really good. At the moment, the whole team, actually, with Mel, Talia, and Aphelios, they're all pretty not too tanky. So Vel'Koz can definitely deal tons of damage. And with this tanky frontline, they might get in trouble if they don't get some frontline at least for themselves. At the moment, Milio got banned out, which I definitely see with this Aphelios. Just a strong lane, of course. And now, with this Prom ban, if they lock it in, they probably want to engage on support position. So something like Rel, something like Nautilus. They are all really, really good, especially with Prom ban. So I believe that Infernal Wolves will probably go for an engaged supporter here.
Yeah, Durrell already being banned as well. One of the main champions of the support of Hitmonli, and he did put out a warning in the video.
True.
To
They
him.
just target banned him. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, even with the problem, they just don't want him to get his strong champions, which is good to see that they really get the credits they deserve. And Karma now banned as well. The problem also kind of could lead into Ornn top lane, for example. Ornn really hates to play against Shield, for example. But we need to see what Luke will play here. And Poppy gets banned out as well. So those dashy engaged supports definitely are a good option now with Poppy and Braum out. And here probably an ADC for Hitmonli makes sense. Then you have still like support counter pick, which could make the lane a little bit better for them. And then they might even win the 2v2. So probably we will see an ADC next. Yeah, there's Smolder. So, and I really like that. I mean, you have Wukong, you have Cassandra, tons of frontline, tons of tankiness, and then just two kind of even long-range carries who deal just tons of damage from high range with Smolder and Vel'Koz. So, if they just play a normal front-to-back team fight and they get the chance for that, then this team comp from Hitmonli really looks spicy.
Yeah, it does really come together. You have also lots of range, as you mentioned, and there's also quite some nice poking potential on the sides of Infernal Wolves. We're gonna close up the draft really soon. The last pick is up. They took up a Gnar for the top lane here, which also offers some quite nice versatility, actually.
Yeah. And it's one of his most played champions. So he is just a comfort Gnar player. And Gnar usually is a good matchup into Cassandra. You kind of get prio. You can just always fight him 1v1. At least in mini Gnar, you can try to outrun him. So I really like it. And there's the Leona. So like I said, engaged support was the option of choice. So at least some engaged. And I kind of like it together with the Talia. Because with Leona ult, with the Senate plate, you always have kind of good CC for the Talia then to get the shove out and stuff. So it kind of makes sense. And with Mel and Aphelios, and I think it could be a problem for Hitmonli. Both has a lot of range as well. So both sides kind of have really good range carries here. So there could be problems for Hitmonli as well. Nautilus now the last pick. Nautilus, Leona, just a tank matchup. Just something you can, of course, play. And I mean, if you could have played him, then maybe Fresh as a counter pick to Leona maybe would have been spicy. But Nautilus, of course, will do his job. And especially those kinda unmobile carries with Talia, with Mel, with Aphelios, they all get just hitted by the ultimate from Nautilus. So kind of easy to catch. So with that, I kind of like the team comp of Hitmonli. And the team comp of Infernal Wolves, I just never saw Mel competitive yet because she's basically banned everywhere. And so I'm really, really hyped to see her here now. And besides that, probably the team comp from Infernal Wolves needs a little bit more skill just because your Gnar ultimate timing or your Gnar Mega Gnar timing is really, really important. And then like the engage isn't like too easy with just Leona basically. So probably a high skill variance by Infernal Wolves. But like you said, they did really amazing in the qualifiers. They got into Division 1 here. And at least on paper, they look really, really strong. So they can just surprise us all.
Yeah, definitely. But it's true that they will have to rely a lot more on communication. They need to follow up in the good times, at the good moment, to engage sparsely, which is hard as a Leona player, I'm sure. Because you need to have the rest of the team be ready to follow up. I think Hitmonli with that Wukong, with that Nautilus, that Cassandra, they have a lot more agency in that regard. It's very explosive. And as our good friend QG would say, the go buttons.
Yeah, I mean that's actually the only thing he analyzes in Champs League. Just kidding. But I think the go buttons by Hitmonli are maybe a little bit more, but you don't need to underestimate like a Gnar on the flank with Mega Gnar just slamming 5 people on a wall. Then the team fight is basically over. So
That's true.
If he finds the flanks, especially like against those squishier targets like if Vel'Koz and Smaller, if one of them dies, the teamfight gets incredible hard because you might miss some damage. But like the good thing is that a fat Wukong or even a fat Cassandra can win you a teamfight by himself because they are kind of like bruiser but still tanky and stuff. So I think that there is even a chance for Hitmonli if one of the carries dies. But they need to play a perfect front to back. They need to really support those two ranged champions, and they need to be scared of like flanks from Na, and like this Mel W where she like just can try to get skill shots back and stuff. Let's see how they can use that, because I don't know too much of those interactions. I just know that she gets like kind of like invincible for 1 second, and then if there's a skill shot, she just fires them at the other direction. So I hope we see like a hook from Nautilus into this W, and Nautilus hooks himself or something. I don't know. I'm so hyped to see it, actually.
Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting, because this is what gives them probably this extra safety, because as you said, the Gna wants to flank, so you won't be able to really support the core of the team. They have the Leona as a frontline, but for the rest, they're very accessible and very vulnerable in a sense. But with that W, that gives them this extra layer of safety against the explosiveness that Hitmonli could give with those extra go buttons. Those 3 go buttons, they have more. And it was after all a first pick. Let's see how confident they are in it. It is still a relatively new champion after all, so you know. The road to mastery is always really long in this game.
Definitely, and because you don't really saw her in like the biggest leagues right now, it's hard to judge if she is even strong. She got nerfed like a ton because she was way too strong in solo queue. So is she even like a strong champion right now? We need to see, and yeah. So I'm definitely hyped to see what comes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Of course, for those who I would assume most people are league players or spectators and know what has been going on, but there might be a few people amongst our spectators who are not too aware of what has happened in the Summoner's Rift very recently, because I think it's changed substantially with the whole Noxus thematic. So first of all, visually, looks really nice as well. But with a new neutral monster, and maybe for Stana, you can tell us a little bit about it, see what people could prepare for in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, Atakan just basically gives you 2 kinds of buffs depending on which Atakan will spawn. Like the first one gives you like this false life. You kind of have a GA, and like the second one just buffs some global buffs like dragon buffs, like baron buffs and stuff. Like you just get a little bit more stats and a little bit more time on something like baron buff, for example. But he is hard to kill and he shreds resistances. So if you fight while something is happening, then you could even fast die against him.
Yeah, so sort of a risky endeavor as objectives could be, but one could be very rewarding, and he can also spawn on different places on the map as well. So I think it gives an interesting dynamic to the whole game, because it's gonna shift potentially towards that objective at some point during the game when he's gonna come. I think it's at minute 20, if I'm not mistaken, that he arrives. At minute 14, the site is gonna be revealed. Yeah. And then it could be different types. So it's always going to be slightly different, the way he impacts the Summoner's Rift. And I think that also could play a huge part in how teams will go about into the game. Yeah, generally speaking. There's also this mechanic where he leaves those roses, right? Which give a stacking buff, adaptive force buff, if I'm not mistaken, with these petals. So there's also this gimmick to take into account that could sway the game in one direction or the other.
Yeah, definitely. It will be interesting to see them fighting against it. Of course, that also means that Baron, I think, spawns at 25 or something.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and like you have still the feats of strength, for example, which is an important thing to play around. Just gives you some more stats on the boots. You can even upgrade boots after that and stuff. So it's really, really interesting, and hopefully we just see them fighting and maybe if G gets a bolo or something, then Frankie really needs to be careful because he already got shots fired. So I'm really hyped to see this really even young lineup from Hitmonli. I mean, they told they're kind of like the early 20s, so they're all young, they're all hype, and so yeah, they have some talent. So hopefully they can show it. Yeah, they have some talent.
Timing couldn't be more perfect as we're headed into the Summoner's Rift after your parting words about Hitmonli, one of the two teams sitting at the red side here for the very first game of the 6th season of the PUBG Esports Masters. Here for the very first game of the 6th season of the PUBG Esports Masters.
And
here for the very
with that, we already see like a small level 1 play from Hitmonli. They just try to spot someone.
Oh, and they have the hook, but I think the damage doesn't quite sit yet. But that's already flashed out on the mid lane. At the exchange of the Nautilus flash, but really, I mean, does it matter that much? It puts the Mel at huge risk, especially with a jungler like a Wukong who can attempt some strong early ganks.
Yeah. I mean, for normally on most supports, you even can play Hextech Flash, so usually losing your Flash isn't like too bad. With this Nautilus not having Hextech Flash is just a trade 1-for-1, but basically maybe it's exploitable against Emel now because she kind of needs to respect it a little bit more. And what we even see like is a lane swap from Hitmonli. I mean, that's crazy. Just hear me out. Like I hate lane swaps basically. I not hate, but like this whole season, I saw so many scrims, I saw so many officials, and every single time they lane swap, and it's annoying, just because top laners can't play the game anymore and stuff. But that's Hitmonli, and for me, they are the big underdog of this league right now. That they perform a lane swap, that is crazy in my opinion. I wouldn't expected it from them, and they just surprised me. They came actually to conquer it, basically.
Yeah.
And I mean, for Cassante, being lane swap, it's not too bad, right? You are still a tank, you miss some CS, whatever, but as a Gnar, I mean, Gnar is basically diveable, especially if you are mini Gnar, while Cassante with his W is not too easy to dive in some circumstances. And then mini Gnar, or Gnar in general, he's kind of a small carry, so if you put him behind, then it really gets rough for him because he cannot make the pressure against the Cassante. So you kind of got a good matchup with Gnar against Cassante, and then they just swap out. And that's what I really like, actually, to see from Hitmonli. Now we see like a little level 2 play from Leona. She tries to cover the tower dive. Wukong actually isn't there to tower dive it, so usually you try to get onto this crash, you tower dive, because Gnar at the moment is still level 1. And with that, you can usually then kill him, for example. But that's so smart. Now he gets the red buff done.
Yeah, I really like this.
Oh man,
that's so sneaky.
And like Leona thought they will dive for sure, so she covered it. But now they steal just the red buff. I mean, he needs to flash out.
Yeah.
But that's a crazy level 1. That's a crazy level 3 play by Hitmonli. They come so well prepared. And I thought it's maybe the weakest team in the league, but they look like the best prepared team. I don't know. It's really crazy to see that they do it, and it makes me hyped to see this team actually.
Yeah, what even is going on? Like, they just decided to come and they were like, okay, we're just gonna wreak chaos over the map. However, the Wukong now slightly behind in the clear in comparison to Irabin coming into the mid lane. Maybe a small clash that we could see here. He's one level behind. We have the combo that hits us. First blood coming in for the Iron Wolves. Goes to Scurbs on his Mel. Zidokal isn't able to change much. Is forced to flee here.
That was kind of sad. He could have flashed the Shoff, of course, but he didn't. So with that, he just gets CC'd and killed. But happens to the best. And with that, it's first blood for Infernal Wolves. Back then, the feats of strength already would have procced with the new patch, you need 3 kills for this first feats of strength. So okay, there's the second kill already done.
Another mid lane action going on, and that's 2 kills going to the AD carry of the Iron Wolves, who did not let themselves be phased by, I'll say, those flashy actions from Hitmonli right off the start.
Yeah, and like I said, Mikano is an incredible Aphelios player. So of course he will play it if it's open, and kind of reminds me of Nomad, who we had as the ADC from Royal Fan back then, or from other teams like in the ESL. Nomad was an incredible Aphelios player as well. So just cool to have Mikano here. And with 2 kills, this Aphelios just gets instantly really strong, and that's something I want to see from, like, quote-unquote a little bit weaker team, that they try to cheese, because on level 1 everybody is equal, right?
Yeah.
But later on, especially, you maybe fall behind in CS, or you maybe fall behind on in plays in general, you get outplayed and stuff. So with a cheese tactic and with just some cheese, you can try to get your opponent on the wrong foot. And it kind of worked out in the early game, but now with standard lanes, for example, there's an instant double kill and stuff. So kind of rough for Hitmonli, but definitely a respectable early game by them. And now they try to need to get back into the game, because the game could really fast slip out of the hand.
Yeah, and I think it's just like you said on mid lane, we have once again a Scaffold flashing out, now using the ultimate. It gets really good. Oh, scopes, it gets to the river. We have Mill coming in from the bot lane at normal time to secure the kill. Sedokal takes advantage of that. Goes for the Drake. Rubin is doing the grubs, I think, or he was just doing the scuttle. And those go for the grubs, yeah. Of course, Iron Wolves aware of it now. Have to cross-map play. And I think I totally agree with what you said. So as coming in as a sort of underdog, they need to do interesting stuff to maybe get a catch on the enemy in order to uneven the grounds.
Yeah.
In a sense, and I think it's very laudable to try and look for those angles. Of course, in this case now starting off behind, but they don't let themselves be done. They do take an objective on the map, objective for objective. Now, of course, you know, you could argue which is better in the early stages of the games, to get those 3 grubs, to get the Drake. And I have to see how that pans out.
Now even the whole plating goes to Lupingo, who looks strong on the Gnar, kind of recovered from the lane swap, kind of got now even in CS. And for the first time in my life, also I saw the Golden Eclipse, the ultimate from Mel, cast it in a competitive game, and I just checked what the name from the ultimate is to say it if I see it. But of course, I'm not a play-by-play, so I will never say it. I just wanted to say that I know it.
You did just now, so you know.
Yeah, at least one time, yeah. Cool. But yeah, I think we saw like a small interaction with the W already, where, or was it just Italia shop? I don't know. Anyway, both sides now have those 2 have one of the objectives. So both have 1 bit of strength in objective-wise, and Infernal Wolves only needs the first turret or 2 more objectives to conquer the feats of strength, while Hitmonli needs both. But they will try their best at the moment. 2k gold lead after 8 minutes. Not too shabby, but no, it's not losing by any means. And with Smolder and with Vel'Koz, they still have a really good. And there we already saw like the Q getting bounced back. Anyway.
It goes towards the shooter.
Yeah, which is crazy. And like with Smolder, you have always like infinite scaling, so they will do great in the late game. Of course, Smolder needs the stacks at the moment. He still is on 80, all on the 38, so 12 more for his next upgrade, and then he gets a little bit more AoE. Oh no, I think. Oh, does he get it after like 25, I guess, and then 125 or something? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Smaller wasn't like in the meta for so many days, so I kind of forgot about the breakpoints. I just know the last breakpoint was 255. He gets this big little exit. Oh, Skoduko. Like, kind of looking.
Yeah, I feel like here Irobin, who took the I'll say the do not face check quite literally, not going into a single bush whenever Sedokil is just around the corner, and I think it's really funny.
Yeah,
Just
actually.
How close he always is, you know, at red buff already, just goes right next to his enemy. I'm Unreal already mid-life here on the mid lane. In a bit of a tight spot because Irobin seems to be preparing a gank, but he's being caught by Sedokil and Miro. Lots of damage falling on the Talia player. Is he going to be able to save himself? And it seems like he is able to get out of range with the help of his mates, not Sandwich having followed up as well. Both AD carries are the bot lane alone, and Mikano almost got a kill on Soldier Boy, but he was able to get away. Little Dragon left alone did survive.
Yeah, and there was a bot flash on the bot lane, so most likely Mikano flashed in with the ultimate, like that's a basic combo. To flash the ultimate and to instantly get burst. And then Soldier Boy kinda escaped with his life. But it was a close one to kill on Talia, so she needed to flash out. I think Iluku could have maybe instantly flashed after her, but then got CC'd, so kinda unlucky for him that he couldn't secure it. But at the moment, after those 3 like quick kills, kinda Hitmonli recovered from that, and nothing too bad happened. Besides now that Infernal Wolves gets their second object, and of course 6 Void Crops, especially with a Gnar later on who can split push. That's a really, really huge thing.
It is going to be a real issue. In the meantime, Zedok comes onto the top lane. Very nice Gnar from Luke Bingo to deny Zedokil's purchase, but Lirio keeps going on. But with the jungle having finished those, is going to come top lane with a very nice wall. Lirio is caught on the wrong side, forced to flash over it. Situation seems to be slightly diffused. However, no kills fall on the top lane so far.
They try to protect the turret, which is important because of the feats of strength. But Infernal Wolves only need 1 more Drake, for example, and the Drake is spawning. So I would like to see Talia and Mel moving bot lane now. Then with this bot lane trio, which they have, then to secure the Drake, of course, who spawned. And it's really hard at the moment for Soldier Boy. I mean, if you just look at the item comparison, he just basically has nothing against a full item. So he needs to get his first to really do something in the matchup again. But it will be really, really hard against the Zephyrus right now. And now Doku actually goes for the dragon, which could be risky in my opinion. But they knew that Mikano is base, or was base. So if they are fast enough, they might even get it.
And I think that's the bet here, trying to not let them come back with those extra items and regroup for this Drake. It seems like the gamble paid off as they do get the Drake.
Yeah, alright.
Yes, really not letting themselves be done, and they go for the engage of bot lane with the jungle being just there. Lots of damage falling on Nod. Sandwich isn't going to be enough to get a first kill. Very nice Edith coming in from him as Mikano turns the situation around. Lots of damage falling on Hitmonli, who are forced to fall back in the end.
Yeah, and this combo.
You have to be careful. Sedokil is really low. Soldier Boy is out of mana.
It was a tough situation with the solar eclipse into the moonlight ritual. They just got instantly bursted out and needed to escape the battleground. And with that, top lane probably dies.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Lirio is going to make his way out of it. And the last plating on the top side, that should be the tower going up to the Infernal Wolves as well. And the Infernal Wolves are slowly but surely making this gap in gold wider and wider.
Yeah. And it's already feats of strength with this first turret. He got all 5 platings and the first turret, so this Gnar has tons of gold. And especially with those 6 Void Crops, he can just push turrets on the side lane. It's a good matchup against the Cassandra, so it will be a really hard time to defend Hitmonli.
Oh yeah, I think Unreal is good there. I was a big CC chain. I was just thinking how I could slip in Gnals, who's got tons of damage now, but he decided to get a kill mid lane.
And now we have 6k gold lead after 14 minutes, and that's a lot. I mean, 2k before wasn't like too much, but 6k really hurts. So Hitmonli definitely need to see how they get their crown back in this game. And of course, with smaller stacks, there's a chance he isn't even at the point where he has like the next upgrade with the fractions after EQ. So he still needs some more. And I don't know if he gets the time actually to get his Elder Drake buff, basically, because this game could be ended really soon with Atakan, with Baron, of course. So they really need to get back into the game. And I mean, they have the hooks like from their Nautilus, so they can try to go for some sort of catch. But every time they try to engage, it did not work out. So I'm really.
Yeah. And it does look like things are heating up in their own jungle now, instead of being caught in tons of damage. Iron Wolves decided to even take it a step further, and they don't even let Hitmonli find an engage or a catch, as they are going into the enemy jungle to catch them off.
Yeah, well played there. Good catch on solo kill. This time they face checked, and it wasn't too hard.
Yeah.
And now with the Baroness on the table, they can of course do it, and after that try to crack down this mid lane turret, for example. Just open the map with it, which would be important. They just got the first two turrets, and Hitmonli already has like bounty on objectives, so even the game thinks they're behind.
Yeah, that of course a chance to get back at your enemy, but Iron Wolves are playing this really nicely. They're setting up, they're taking up objectives very neatly. You know, they do this catch on the enemy jungler. That leaves them the way to do that Herald's almost frictionless. Hitmonli indeed was not able to deny it in any way. They could open up that mid lane tower. We have a Drake coming up soon. Atakan is also bound to arrive in 3 minutes. For what, they'll have some very nice opportunities surely by opening up that mid lane. So things are taking shape really well for Iron Wolves here. Well, Hitmonli is a bit on the back foot, and they should look for those catches, but Iron Wolves doesn't really give much leeway. Maybe here on the mid lane, as they catch Mikino alone, but he decides to go in, maybe gets return kill, is not able to take, and that's the shutdown going to Soldier Boy.
Yeah, and that's important to get your Smolder online, to get him the items, to get him the damage, because they need it. They need to get back into the game.
Yeah, but Iron Wolves are not going to let themselves be defeated by a dime. Unreal has to do a nice flash, gets knocked back with TP coming in. Maybe the situation can turn around. Another shutdown going to Hitmonli, as now Scopes is in a tough spot. Is going to dodge that hook, but I don't think he's going to get out of here on his Mel here. That's another kill going to Hitmonli, and that's exactly what they needed to get a foot back into this game.
Yeah, and with 2 down, they can probably do the dragon as well. And then that would be the third Drake with that soul point. So I really like what Hitmonli did there. They just got the catch, and then a really good outplay by Iron Unreal that he just one-shot straight with the Orban. And Scopes is out of position after that, so they really got back into it, and they now get even objective bounty.
It's very important. Unreal getting caught here. Maybe Soldier Boy comes in to get another kill. Very nice to go over the wall here, because he was under fire from Mikano, whose support having joined up. The situation could turn around. It's 4v3 on the middle lane for Hitmonli here. Lots of damage are falling now, as Soldier Boy has been able to join back up. They get the enemy AD carry, the most important target, I would say. But Scopes in the middle of them deals so much damage on that Mel as well. now Soldier Boy is forced to fall back as the rest of his team has been decimated here.
It was a good team fight actually. They even got Mikano a second time, but now they will maybe lose this turret because Soldier Boy alone is not able to defend it because of the void crops, of course. And they even get a second charge. It could be risky because Sandwich is actually not too healthy right now, but they don't go for it. So Soldier Boy wouldn't want to go for the 1v1. And with that, just another turret bites the dust. It's 11-4. 8k gold lead basically after some shutdowns got collected, right? The turret bounty, not turret but Drake bounty, and then of course 2 shutdowns. But it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I'm Unreal is caught now, doesn't have flash, still deals so much damage to Rubin, but that's not enough to get the kill first, and he's gonna die there getting called on the bot lane, which is really good for Iron Wolves because the next big objective is up, that's Atakan, and maybe they're gunning for it.
Yeah, it's probably out of reach for Hitmonli right now. They will basically
Just
die if
risk
they
it.
try it, but
I
he
really love
tries.
the gal that Sedokal has been showing. He's like, I'm doing this trick, I'm doing this trick. Now he's like, you know what? I'm doing Atakan. Just starting it up. Another shutdown goes to Soldier Boy, which is of course really good. He's now 2-1, so they're starting to get the engine of the little dragon running, which is, I think, their best bet at taking back this game. They also have 3 drakes, which is huge actually, because they have a really solid shot, in my opinion, right now at the soul still.
Yeah, and Infernal Wolves, to be honest, just doesn't really respect them here and there. I mean, they just get caught over and over again, and just gives them some more bounties, which I really don't want to see, because now Hitmonli kind of has a little chance because their smaller at least has 2 items. It's even more items than Mikano on the other side. And especially with the new crit scaling, which they changed for Smolder, he looks decently strong now with the Infinity Edge. But of course, he needs to attack them, he needs to queue them in teamfights, he needs the time. They kind of have a frontline to do that, but it's not too easy to win against a team who has 8k gold more than you. So you need to choose your fights wisely.
Close call here. So things are heating up around Atakan. Iron Wolves definitely want to start it off soon. They know that Hitmonli are probably very vigilant around it. They have Luke Bingo on the bot lane with Dagnar to split push, as you've mentioned. Could be a big issue that Hitmonli needs to keep in check. They sent Sedokal there. And that essentially leaves the door open for Iron Wolves to do this Atakan for free.
Yeah. That should be Atakan for them. And I'm sorry, I'm a Telecaster, but I don't know which Atakan is which Atakan just by the appearance. But we will see it after he dies, because either they get those, they got the false life. So it's the Guardian Angel Atakan basically. And it would definitely help. Bingo maybe out of position, but should get Megana soon, so he's kind of comfort.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it is of course a really, really strong buff. That's 150 seconds. One-time Guardian Angel gives them this opportunity to force a fight that they could not. Since they're ahead anyways, they can't even force fight, so it's just they can threaten a really big move right now.
They can indeed. Drake should be spawning soon. I don't know if we have no timer for that, but probably spawning in around 1 minute or something. And they already try to secure some vision around the object, of course. In the meantime, Hitmonli tries to go for this top lane turret, which would be an objective bounty. And of course, you can lose a Drake if you have 3 Drakes already, because you just say, yeah, they will never get sold, we have 3 Drakes. So just go for the objective play on the other side, because you are kind of behind in gold, so this objective bounty maybe gets you back in, so definitely helps them a lot.
Infernal Wolves now putting lots of pressure on both mid and bot lane, and of course with those grubs, those turrets take a lot of damage really fast. Yuri on the mid lane trying to stand his ground, isn't able to do that much, but with the rest of his team coming around, maybe they find an angle, as currently Infernal Wolves are kind of split by the wall. Bot lane turret is gonna fall now, however. That leaves him lots of leeway to get those inhibitors on bot and mid down. And they go further for the push. They go for the engage between the two Nexus turrets. Lots of damage falling on Sadokal. He's able to make it out of alive. And we can see now this Guardian Angel sends the players back into the base. And maybe Hitmonli can fight. The Sadokal in the middle of them is going to take lots of damage and finally die. And they can defend this. Very nice Gnar coming in from Luke Bingo. Mikano now under fire is able to deal lots of damage, however. And they were able to push them back with only one fatality. But we can just see how strong this objective is.
It was an ace, except it wasn't.
Denied.
I mean, yeah, except, I mean, they got 1,000 gold for that, but they could have gotten 1,500 gold, of course, and then some shutdowns and stuff. So that was actually huge for them to defend them, to kill them, and yeah, just some more stacks for the smaller.
It must be so frustrating still. You know, they played this so nicely, and the enemy just responds, and they can go get Baron. If the situation, if it wasn't for this revive, it's Hitmonli who could have done this Baron.
Yeah, it's really frustrating to play against this Atakan, and I mean it's the big tempo Atakan. That's not a scaling one, so at least something now he's gone. Only one, maybe a little bit deep.
Yeah, but deep, lots of damage, but look at this, Leorio is on the fire. Has to get out of this, maybe with the mid lane, tons of damage, very nice follow-up coming in from Sidok with this Cyclone, but the rest of his team is not quite there yet, and he is the first to fall. Now it's Mero, double kill, going to scopes himself very low, is forced to fall back a bit. Not Sandwich is gonna die, and now we have Leorio is able to take out those members of the Infernal Wolves who are a bit too far. Another kill going to them. It's Unreal on his Valkyries who gets the one on the enemy AD carry on Mikano. The minion waves are, however, already at the Nexus with Luke Bing on his Gnar coming in from the bot lane. Now, Infernal Wolves are able to put some pressure on those Nexus turrets, and they are falling fast with that Baron, with those Void Grubs. It's the Nexus that is naked now. Luke Bingo goes in to get some CC, some damage out to make sure Hitmonli is not able to defend this. They do get the dart down on the enemy Talia, but Nexus is getting really low, and that's the first win for Infernal Wolves.
Yeah, what a performance. But a crazy early game by Hitmonli. But in the end, it's a well-deserved win. I mean, they kind of crushed them in the mid-game. They got back from this really hard-hitting lane swap and just showed us why they're probably the stronger team, at least on this best of one. So, yeah, but it was a really good showing by Hitmonli. I mean, I did not expect a lane swap from them. I did not expect, like, those later team fights. I mean, they kind of aced them with like 10k behind, which is crazy. So if they would have gotten like a little bit more time, they might have even won the game with the Smolder. So well played actually by Hitmonli, but well played more by Infernal Wolves.
By Infernal Wolves. And I think if you can take something from this is that Hitmonli is there to surprise everybody. You know, they've got some aces up their sleeves, as they've just shown us. And they admitted it themselves. If there is something they lack, it's that they don't like regularly play necessarily together. They don't necessarily train in a sense. But that's something that's just gonna come from itself. So maybe their one weakness is gonna be kinked out over the course of those 4 game weeks. And I think they're on a good foot as an underdog to have some very nice games here in this 6th season.
Definitely. I think they can snack some games from other teams for sure. But if they play like they did, then they have a good chance.
Yeah, we'll see how they fare over the course of the next few weeks. Next up, we have past champions of this 5th season, Royal Family Esports, still headed by the one, the only Valerian, very well known in our scene. They'll be going up against Red What, which is Once Upon a Team's academy team. And I can't wait to see what they've got up this sleeve. A newcomer against past champion. We'll see how that fares after a short break. We'll see you very soon.